Many of us hit the gym when we want to lose weight, but how many of us hit the gym when we want a mood boost? Hi, I'm Carly Myers, your friendly stress management expert, and this month we are talking about physical health. Now, I've brought on who better than Nick Deacon, an old friend, a health expert. He's a holistic transformation coach who helps people build better relationships with their bodies through education and empowerment. He completes he competes in natural bodybuilding, plays multiple instruments, and is a total nerd, especially for all things health and functional medicine. I can attest to that so much. We've had so many conversations over different meals, around fires. I'm just excited to have this conversation with the world now. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Carly. It's awesome to be here sharing the space with you.
Awesome. So I'm curious, this has been probably your second or third time, I'm losing count at this point, coming on the show. But for those of us that are listening that don't know you, they don't know how you got here, do you mind just sharing a little bit of your background and why you're so passionate about what you do?
Sure. I started off just a skinny kid who was bad at sports and didn't really have a healthy family or with healthy eating habits or like a good physical relationship with our bodies and stuff when I was a kid. And kind of had like a victim mentality most of my life. And somewhere along the way, I realized that I could actually change my body, and I didn't have to, like, that wasn't like me, like doomed for the rest of my life. And so I started working out when I was in high school, and I dove in, hard, constantly wanted more, started reading books, following all kinds of people as much as I could online, because this was actually back like a little over 15 years ago now, when like the internet wasn't what it was today.
Yeah.
So I dove in hard. I got into bodybuilding and just learning about all kinds of stuff. Went through my share of like body dysmorphia and like eating like weird physique disordered eating type stuff, and like working out too hard, getting injured, just going through the gamut of being an angry young man who wanted to change my body at any cost, really.
I love it. And I appreciate your vulnerability and your realness, because I think not enough, like if we talk about like health coaches and like people in the realm of nutrition and fitness and all of this, there's not a lot of honesty about like what's behind the curtain.
Yeah, I've totally noticed that, especially with the rise of Instagram, where
Oh my goodness.
people are just simply gaining attention for something that's on the surface, like what they look like, or people follow a guy or a girl just because like they want to look like that, or they aspire to have their glamorous life, and you can't see what's going on behind the scenes. And now that what they're showing is now the model for almost like the scorecard for which the audience will base their own life on.
Yep.
And that only leads to issues.
Yeah, and
It's
I
not
think it
real.
encourages, like, let's say those people are engaging in unhealthy, whether they're over exercising, under eating, overeat, like whatever the situation is, it's like encouraging those behaviors. So yeah, I appreciate your realness. So I'm curious, we decided we were going to talk about physical health. We're talking about how that kind of links into the mind and everything that's going on. So I know you prepared some really like honed in, tips that people could implement today where they can, appreciate the realness, acknowledge what's going on in their life, but also, get shit done, work on shit.
Sure, absolutely. So I think there's a really major concept along my journey that was kind of like a light bulb moment for me, where, as I said, like I was in bodybuilding and like really aggressive like meathead type of stuff that changed my body. And I think a lot of people, we believe that working out is this thing that we do to be healthy, and so the more you work out, like the better it is, and that working out is just a way to burn calories or something like that. And as I started diversifying my learning, I guess, like I got into Eastern philosophy and like traditional Chinese medicine, stuff like that, and just this very simple concept they have of yin and yang, and this idea of balance, came before me. And when I started learning how I could apply this to my working out, my movement practice, this really became a big game changer.
Mm.
And I think that, we all kind of strive for balance, but we don't really like talk about like what it is, what it
Yeah.
actually is,
Yeah.
right? And so it just becomes this nebulous thing, this like the soundbite type of thing, which I always just hate because it doesn't actually mean anything.
Yeah.
But so, if you just think about like your own spending, for example, you're not going to spend all kinds of money without any sort of regard for where the money is coming in, right? It has to be in balance of this inflow outflow, right? It's not just
Mhm.
getting rid of something. We have to bring something in, and the more we can bring in, the more we can put out. And it's really the size of the cycle. And
Yeah.
so with working out, the purpose of working out isn't to just burn calories. It's really like an opportunity to upgrade your body and to stimulate it to do something more, to be stronger, to lift more weight, to run faster, to uh, just upgrade. And
Mhm.
those are the things that actually make you healthier, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so if in the yin and yang concept, that becomes the yang, this output of energy, and working out should be hard, right? Like, make no mistake, like, working out is stressful to the body, and really should be. Like, that's the whole point. But the problem is, in our fast-paced modern world, most of us are already stressed out and short on time and energy, and like our tanks are just empty.
Yep.
And so that's where, instead of working out, we go back to the concept of bringing in and working in. And I think adding these types of activities to our weekly exercise regime, our movement practice, whatever, can really help not only make ourselves feel better, add to our health, but also make our workouts better as well.
So tell me, when you say like work in, what do you mean?
So, with a working in type of activity, if you think of working out, like, working out is kind of easy to understand. It's anything that pushes your intensity to the edge. It's anything that leaves your face red. Those are the workouts that are stimulatory to make you stronger, faster, whatever. So those would be, so again, working out would be something like, a high volume muscle building workout, like high intensity interval training, like powerlifting or Olympic weightlifting style sessions. If you like CrossFit, like those would be like the Metcons and like
Like
the
a boot camp
conditioning
class,
circuits.
like a hardcore
Yeah.
spin class, stuff like that.
The way that you would know is like, check your energy after the workout. Like, is it less than when you began? And did you
Mhm.
get some serious work done? Right.
Yeah.
And so that's working out, right? On the working inside, these would be things that restore you and actually give you more energy on the back end than when you began.
Hmm.
So these could be something as simple as just taking a long walk, right? It could be a hot tub or sauna work, right? Just like getting in the sauna for, 20 to 30 minutes or something like that. It could be a hike through nature. It could be an easy vinyasa, yoga flow type session.
Mhm.
It could be something as simple as like having sex with your partner, laughing more, or like just easy play, right? Not
Yeah.
like hard, like football type situation where you're
Yeah.
like, being competitive, but just like playing around with like your kids or your friends, something like that. Um,
Mm.
breathing, massage work, eat, and some of those things are really easy, right? Like having sex is like, oh yeah, that's really gonna like,
Don't have to think twice. Yeah.
right, exactly, right. But it doesn't just have to be easy as compared to like working out being hard. Like, it could be a little bit difficult, but that would be more something like 20 minutes of like short athletic run, jump, throw drills with low reps and plenty of rest.
Yeah.
But the real key here is that it's something that individually brings more energy to you after than when you began,
Mm.
and it helps stimulate recovery in that way.
I love that, and I think subconsciously, I think I've been doing that during this whole quarantine practice. I've been doing my, long walks and yoga with Adrienne. I feel like she is like so popular right now. But yeah, I love this concept that it doesn't have to always be so hard. We don't have to always work out. We can work in when we're drained. So I'm curious, for the listeners at home, for those of you who are listening, what ideas are coming up for you right now? Like, how can you work in? Is it, a vinyasa yoga practice? Is it a walk in? Like, what is coming up for you? We really want to know. We'd love to hear your ideas. Now, guys, this concludes this episode of the Stress Less Show. If you've enjoyed this week's episode, let us know by giving us a big old thumbs up and hitting that follow or subscribe button. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week.